Okay. I know this is very soon for a new update, but I did some things that I thought were funny. Ignore the development stuff. False, false, false. Watch this. True. There it is. True. And you might notice that the aiming is a little weird. That's because I have aim slowdown now, so it's actually playable on controller to an extent. I can show you how I did it. So we have this right here, which is our target BP, and I pretty much put this target on all of them, or this target BP on all of the targets. So it's just this little collision cylinder, or a capsule. And what's neat is I have this right here. So pretty much we do a ray trace from the player's position. So I'm right here. This is my position, and we shoot a single line from where I am looking, from the direct middle of my screen, all the way out to a certain point. In this case, it is 1,500 units. Unreal Engine units, because Unreal Engine doesn't use real measurements. I'm kidding, they do, but like the measurements don't fucking matter. It's a fucking video game. The measurements are whatever I fucking want them to be. Anyways, 1,500 units. So yeah, it goes from our starting position out by 1,500 units, and it checks to see if it hits a pawn, which our target BP is of type pawn. So that means that it is detected as a pawn. We could set it up as a custom, and we could set it up as an enemy instead. Black screen, gotta love it. There we go, we're back. So I could set the object type as enemy instead with custom collisions and whatnot. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it as pawn because that's simple. And all of this, most of this code is hacked together, so most of it fucking sucks. I know there's a black screen, give it a second. For some reason, OBS hates Unreal Engine. You know what, at this point, just fucking display capture it, dude. I don't give a shit anymore. I'll dox myself, I don't give a damn. But yeah, and another thing is, I would turn my webcam on, except for the fact that I'm not even sure if it's plugged in. But I'm actually using a PS4 controller. When I was doing this stuff, I'm using a PlayStation 4 controller. Now, that might not sound that impressive, except for the fact that Unreal Engine does not have PlayStation 4, or just PlayStation in general, controller support. I had to hack that together as well by doing this bullshit. So I had to enable a plugin. I then had to find out the vendor ID and product ID of my controller, which luckily, pretty much all PlayStation 4 controllers are going to have this same vendor and product ID. So I won't have to edit these for when I put the game out as a playable thing. But I don't own a PlayStation 5 controller, and I don't plan on spending $60 just to include PlayStation 5 controller support. So this will be limited to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mouse and keyboard are the ones that I know it will work for. I don't know what else it could work for. I do have a Wiimote. I could theoretically add in, I could make it playable with the Wiimote and nunchuck if I wanted to. But dear God, that sounds like a pain in the fucking ass that I don't want to go through, so we're not doing that. But yeah, so anyways, we have a little small circle that just gets shot out from the middle of our screen, and if it hits a target, it then sends out, we hit a target. And then if it hits a target, we then go back out to here. If it hits a target, so, if that's true, then we actually set the sensitivity to whatever the player's sensitivity is divided by 2. And then if that's false, if they aren't near and looking at a target, then we set sensitivity back to whatever the player set it to as the default. So yeah. I'm probably going to keep it real basic and just keep it as that, because I find that Call of Duty's aim assist is so insane that it's unfair for mouse and keyboard players. And like, the simpler you keep the aim assist in your own game, the easier it is to detect people that are cheating. For instance, let's say somebody's playing on controller but they have cheats, so they are using aimbot. Well, I could look at whatever their in-game sensitivity is, because some aimbots are just snap to the nearest player, and therefore it'll snap as fast as it can, including overriding the game's sensitivity. So if I set like a max sensitivity that is far too slow, an aimbot program would try and go past that cap, and therefore I'd be able to detect the player's camera moving way faster than any human reasonably would be able to do. Well, literally an impossible speed based on my own game's code, and therefore they would get banned from multiplayer. Obviously, this isn't going to have multiplayer, but you know, in the future, if I want to reuse this aim assist system, then I could set it up like that. Another thing is, this aim assist system made me realize how bad I am at actually aiming on a controller. I mean, I was really bad. Like, this is what it looks like with no aim assist. So this is me attempting to shoot the targets with no aim assist, which, by the way, actually, let me go back into here and just disable this for now. So we're going to disable that, and instead we're going to say on our gun, or is it in, yeah, it's in bullet. Yeah, when we spawn the decal. So I'm going to say print string. And we're going to print out the name of the actor we hit get display name. So if this ends up saying, you know, the target, so if we get target BP or SM standing target, or not standing target, but target full or target half, if we get either of those as the name, then we know that we hit the target. So yeah, we can just pick up the gun, do a real fast check. As you can see, that says we hit the hanger wall. So we can see we hit the target, and now we hit that target, and now we hit it. Oh my god, that target, and now we hit that target. Ta-da! And as you can see, it's really difficult to actually hit your shots. Like, obviously I've gotten better at it since I've been testing with no aim assist, but dear Lord Jesus. Okay, I'm making sure. It felt like there was a bit of aim slowing down for some reason, which that's another thing I need to add in. I actually need to add it in so that when you aim down sight, it feels like, damn, am I actually good at aiming on a controller? This is with no aim. Whoa, holy shit, I'm God. Dude, I should play esports, bro. I'd be so good. I need to go pro. But yeah, so yeah, that's some stuff that I've done. We also have grenades, so you can, you know, pick up the grenades. And as you can see, there's a little grenade thing there. It's hard to see based on the lighting. Like, I believe right here, it's pretty much impossible to see the grenades. But they are. You can see them right there. And you can also see the bubble that is my head. Oh yeah, we can pick up some grenades, and at the moment, you can't throw them. I haven't added in a throwing thing yet, but as you can see, it updates that, and like, here, let me actually just add in a thing for testing purposes, because I have, this is the ADSing, or aim assist, so I have the thing right here. I literally have it. So we need to say on completed grenade count set to get subtract 1. Or, sorry, we can actually do this more easily by doing this and then decrement, and there we go. Ta-da! And this will show that I do have the code fully functioning for the grenades. It's not hacked together. It will actually work if I do that, and then that. And it's based on, I'm holding the button right now. So I might add in cooking a grenade. I'm not 100% sure if I'm actually going to do that. But yeah, it's based on when you release the button, not when you press it. So yeah, that's another thing I did. So pretty much I almost have everything ready. I'm probably going to do some editing on the gravity of the character, because I definitely think the jumping is a bit stupid. Like, Unreal Engine's gravity, I don't know why its default gravity feels so floaty, but it does. It feels so bad. Like, God, it's so shit. And also, I'll change my hack together code for the ladder at some point. I don't think I actually showed off the ladder yet. So the ladder is 2 parts. We have part A, which is you run into this thing, and then we have part B, which is you teleport up to this, but it's an overtime thing. So it's called a lerp function, and pretty much it's just like, okay, move the player from this position to this position in a certain amount of time, you know, or over the course of a period of time, of a given period of time. So for this, I just said 1 second, which is obviously way too fast. And also, we want the player to be able to go up and down ladders, and this doesn't do that. So yeah, this is just the hack together solution I did for ladders, but I will be changing it at some point. And then the other thing that's hacked together at the moment is the pickup system. At the moment, the code for the pickup system is actually mostly inside of the map's blueprint, instead of, you know, on the objects or something. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a blueprint that'll have a collision box, and it will have a empty mesh. So I will pretty much be able to set the mesh in the map editor, so I could place, it would pretty much look like this. I would place the object in, it would have its collision box, it would have nothing here, and I'd be able to say, okay, the object I want is to be this object, you know, the SMAR4. So the SMAR4 gets placed down, and then I can like resize the collision box and whatnot however I want. And then the other thing is, obviously, I need to change this part where it says press E to pick up. I need to detect what controller the player is using, which I actually found out there is a way to do that. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was like input device. It might have been input device. Get input device subsystem. Let's see. I remember when I was looking at enhanced input related things, I found something that I thought might be a way. Get input connection retrieves the node unique ID and the output name connected to a given input. So not that. Get available audio input devices. I know I found something. I just don't remember what it was. It's entirely possible that it was I turned off the context sensitivity stuff, and that's how I found it. Oh, you know what? I think it was in here. There might be like a input device ID. So yeah, it might have been that one. Probably was that one realistically. In fact, we can just do input device is valid input device get default get input device connection state get all input devices. So yeah, we can do this, and we can like, let's do a on begin play. Oh, just so I can see what it would print out for each loop. Get the player controller who owns the given input device. Okay. That's not at all what I thought I'd get out. Okay. I'll have to figure it out at some point. I will figure it out. There's probably a tutorial on how to do it. But yeah, so that's going to be the next thing I do is setting up the actual... Whoopsies, smacked my mic. Set up some actual interaction, or at least a blueprint for picking up weapons and whatnot. And, you know, de-jankifying a lot of my code so it's not hacked together like the ladder climbing code. I will change that to not be hacked together. And as I previously stated, the pickup stuff. And realistically, I think those are the only two things that I actually need to change. Oh, actually, there is one more thing, and that would be the actual interact thing here as well is also straight hacked together. To an extent, I can definitely get somewhere with this. But at the moment, it's hacked together because, you know, there should be something else here realistically. So I'm probably going to have like a switch on. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Or maybe, you know what, this would be the easy option. I can have all of the data of the weapon's name and whatnot saved to the pickup blueprint itself. So I would place down the blueprint and I would just input all of the given data and whatnot. And pretty much it would just be all like, okay, get the name of the gun, compare gun name, and that's the gun the player picks up. Because at the moment, obviously, the player only has the SM4, so all I have to do is set shooting to not blocked and make the gun visible so that you can shoot and you can see the gun. But obviously, if you pick up an AK and your fucking guy pulls out an M16, you're going to be confused as hell. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm going to add in and dejankify. I think those are the only things that I actually need to go through. Oh, you know what? The bullet holes I need to fix as well, because at the moment, this is also pretty jank. If you look at it for too long, you'll probably realize the issue. Quite literally, anything that can have a bullet hole will have a bullet hole. And that becomes an issue. I think I already showed this off last time with the fences. Why does that have a bullet hole? Oh yeah, also I changed the lighting and some stuff. Thought I would point that out real fast, but like, reload so that we can showcase it. Yeah, see, that is highly unrealistic. So yeah, that is another thing I will be changing. And I might fix guns clipping through objects, but at the same time, I probably won't because that's a lot of effort. But yeah, gonna fix that because that's fucking stupid. And just shouldn't happen. Like, yeah. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I'm probably just going to have a tag for objects that can have bullet holes, because if I just go to all, scroll all the way down, we can just do, okay, fine then. Yeah, we can just add in a component tag and just say bulletable or something, you know? So yeah, that's because, like, imagine if you're shooting water and instead of having splash particles come out, you just see a bullet hole in the water. Oh my god, that would be so fucking stupid. But yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I did also add this. Jesus, I keep forgetting the things that I added from last time. So yeah, I added this because I watched a bit more of the tutorial and I noticed, oh yeah, there's a whole grenade section to the tutorial, and that's why I added in grenades, because I actually forgot to add in grenades, which, while it might not be in here, I also have the lethal button set up. And we can just open up the player inputs. So these are all the inputs I have ready to be used. In fact, we can show them off in here. So we have... Oh, I haven't added prone yet. Okay. Let's do that real fast. So for prone, it would be the same as crouching on controllers. So I believe that's this button. Yes, okay. And we would want this to actually be a hold. So yeah, if you hold it for a certain amount of time, you'll go prone. And then on here, we can have it as control, or actually, I think it's usually Z. Sometimes it's C, sometimes it's Z, sometimes it's fucking control and shit, you know? But yeah, I normally see it as control is to crouch, Z is to lay down. And then I'd have to unplug my PlayStation controller to do the Xbox One. I do have 2 wires. I just don't feel like grabbing the second one. Okay. And now we just do the same thing here. Boom. Don't know why that opened up. which we can make sure that I did that correctly. Yep. And then we just add in the trigger for holding. And there we go. Okay, so all of our inputs that are necessary are now set up. No, they are not. We are actually missing another one that I have. I don't have it. Okay. Okay, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are all of the inputs that are necessary for the basics of a Call of Duty game. At least, you know, the old school ones. So for this left bumper, add. And I'd actually have to restart the it's not going to detect my PlayStation 4 controller. I have to close out of the Epic Games, or I have to close out of Unreal Engine, because watch, if I try to do it again, you can hear it. I am pressing the left shoulder. So yeah. I could try and guess which button it is, but that's probably a bad idea. So for now, this is where I'm going to leave off the video. But yeah, we have, oh, actually, we want to set it up as released. And released. Nope, that's pressed. Released. Let me make sure I didn't set this as pressed, right? Yeah, okay. There we go. That's where we'll leave off. If I'm missing anything, please tell me, because I might not remember. Anyways, see you guys in the next one. Peace.